Pair who he was having an affair with. Banfield speaking before his sentencing today, and we also heard from the Fairfax County Commonwealth's attorney afterwards. Let's take a listen.
I am not responsible for her death. This is not a knife that I ever held in my hand, and I never stabbed her.
What happened today really showed Brendan Banfield is a remorseless killer. Even today, he tried to make himself out to be the victim in this case.
We've got Defense Attorney Joseph Tully here with us, and we just heard, I suppose, what do you call that? Is that a plea to the judge for mercy, who pretty much had just life in prison without the possibility of parole on the board there?
Yes, so I think what you see is just a last-ditch attempt by a desperate man grasping at straws. He was convicted. He was convicted of 2 counts of aggravated murder. He's facing the rest of his life in prison, and he's thinking, well, if something ever happens with an appeal, if I admit guilt, that might hurt me. So I agree with the prosecution here. This is a remorseless killer who's just trying to never giving up, never admitting any kind of accountability.
All right, so this is something that is available to all defendants, right? When sentencing comes, they may address the court, and he so chose to do. And there's also victim impact statements at the time of sentencing here. Does it really ever rarely change what the judge rules and how exactly they sentence?
So it can, depending on the type of case. Here, the judge is locked in as a matter of law that if somebody is convicted of aggravated murder, then they're facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. So it really didn't matter what he said. He could have said, yeah, I did it, ha, ha, ha. The judge wouldn't have changed. It would have still stayed at life in prison without parole. Mm-hmm. He could have said, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. I would never do this again. I'm a good person. I've reformed. I will do whatever it takes to make this up. I accept full responsibility, and nothing would have happened. He's going to get life in prison. So I think he's looking at, he at least has a chance. If he never takes accountability, he might live to laugh another day, so to speak, in terms of seeing if he could pull the wool over people's eyes about this case.
Yeah, what is the procedure here? What's next? Is there recourse for Brendan Banfield? Can he appeal the sentencing? Is this, you talk about justice being served for the victim's family. To some degree, this could continue.
Well, with a serious case, it is a matter of, just professionalism. Everybody's always going to file an appeal. You have to do it. It's just something that's done. And there are certain things that you argue in appeal. On appeal, you don't argue whether or not somebody's guilty or innocent. You argue whether or not there were mistakes made in the underlying trial. So that's what will happen. It's just a matter of course in a serious case. This is what happens. You expect appeal, an appeal will happen.
In the off chance that the appeal would be successful, that doesn't automatically mean that Brendan Banfield would be a free man.
Correct. It would mean most likely, and this is very, very unlikely. I watched this trial. I provided legal commentary as it was going on. I don't see any glaring grounds for appeal, anything that would overturn this case, but just hypothetically speaking, if an appeal were to be successful, he may be looking at a new trial versus anything. And I don't think anything would change. The evidence was very strong against him.
All right, Joseph Tully giving us insight there as to that sentencing that happened today in that double murder, or in that murder there by that au pair and obviously the husband there of Christine Banfield. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Joseph. Let's move on here to the D.C. mayoral race.